All right, guys, let me take you right into it. This Browns quarterback battle has all of us on the edge of our seats. And honestly, I can't stop thinking about how it's all going to shake out. Is Joe Flacco going to hold on to the starting job? Could Kenny Pickett come out of nowhere and surprise us all? Or maybe, just maybe, Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders push their way onto the field faster than anyone expects. These are the kinds of questions that keep me up at night as a Browns fan. Quick pause. If you want to keep seeing Cleveland Browns updates like this on your feed, make sure to hit that like button. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm and lets me keep pumping out this kind of content. I appreciate it. Now, let's get into the heart of it. Beyond just the quarterback situation, we've got to look at the full picture. The Browns roster is solid. There's a good mix of veteran leadership and promising young talent. The defense, man, that was a bright spot last season. Even with all the struggles, we had one of the best units out there, and that's largely because of Myles Garrett. The guy is a game changer. He can take over a game single-handedly. But as good as the defense is, it can only do so much if the offense isn't sustaining drives and wearing out opposing defenses. Even if the quarterback play is just average but consistent, it could be enough to change the entire trajectory of this team. And that brings me to coaching. Kevin Stefanski's offensive system is all about balance, discipline, and smart play calling. Yeah, there have been some valid questions about his ability to develop quarterbacks, but let's not forget what he did with Kirk Cousins in Minnesota. The man knows how to design a game plan. Now he's under the microscope more than ever, and he's got to get this quarterback decision right. Because whoever wins this job has to be ready. No excuses. This offseason has been wild. We've seen some great additions, sharp draft picks, and some pretty strategic roster moves. Everything's been geared toward making this team more competitive, and I know fans are cautiously optimistic. We've been burned before. We've seen what happens when quarterback uncertainty drags down the entire franchise. Now, looking ahead at the schedule, the first few weeks are going to be brutal. Division games against the Ravens, Bengals, and Steelers are coming fast, and they're going to test this team right away. If we stumble early, that's where we might see Gabriel or Sanders get their shot. If the veterans hold their ground, maybe we don't see any changes for a while. Either way, the stakes are massive. I truly believe this is a defining season for the Browns. After everything we've been through, missed chances, close calls, all those rebuilds, fans just want stability, a quarterback we can believe in, a team that doesn't fall apart the second something goes wrong. And that's why this quarterback battle matters so much. It's not just about week one. It's about setting the foundation for a real run at something special. Now let's talk about weeks 6, 7, and 8. This is where things could really get wild. If Flacco starts showing signs of decline, or Pickett just doesn't cut it, things could shift fast. And that's where the politics start heating up. Does Stefanski ride with Dillon Gabriel, his supposed pick? Or does the front office, which might have pushed for Shedeur Sanders, step in and force a switch? There are some serious whispers coming out of Cleveland. Word is, Gabriel was Stefanski's guy. Safe, smart, ready for a system-heavy offense. Meanwhile, Sanders? That could be an Andrew Berry or even a Jimmy Haslam move. Big potential. Big marketing value, maybe even the future face of the franchise. But if the team starts losing and the locker room starts to fracture, that divide could explode. And let's not forget what happens when Cleveland implodes. It's never subtle. So before I wrap this part up, let me break it down. Dillon Gabriel? He's got accuracy, discipline, but he's playing catch-up against a flashy rookie and a war-tested vet. Sanders? Electric. Dynamic. And let's be honest, the Browns might already be preparing him for a mid-season takeover. Then there's Joe Flacco, probably our week 1 starter, but he's one rough stretch away from passing the torch. And Kenny Pickett? Yeah, he might want to keep a suitcase handy. This thing is just getting started. And honestly, I think this quarterback room might be the most unpredictable one in the entire NFL. So Browns fans, sound off. Who do you want under center when we kick off the season? And this isn't just about speculation. The outcome of this saga will shape the entire direction of the franchise. If Stefanski bets on Gabriel and it flops, we're not just talking about a setback. That could be a pink slip. The clock is ticking, and there's no room for experiments anymore. This isn't 2020. There's no grace period. He's led us to the playoffs, sure, but he's also never faced a quarterback controversy with this much political heat behind it. Now imagine this. What if he backs Gabriel and then Sanders starts lighting up practice? The front office might not wait long before making a move, and if they start pushing for Sanders and he doesn't deliver, well, that's on Andrew Berry and Haslam. They're rolling the dice on potential overproven results. This kind of power struggle at quarterback, in Cleveland, that's where chaos loves to strike. But here's a piece we haven't touched yet. The locker room. Let's talk about Sanders. The buzz around him is real. He's got the pedigree, the skills, and a fan base ready to crown him the future. If he can live up to that hype, he could be more than a quarterback. He could be a symbol of everything Browns fans have waited for. And yeah, it's going to take time. But the excitement? It's electric. In the end, it all comes down to this. Cleveland is standing at a crossroads. The quarterback competition is heating up. Experience gives Flacco and Pickett the early edge, but Gabriel and Sanders, they're right there, ready to shake things up. The whole season could ride on how fast they adapt and how well Stefanski and the coaching staff can bring out their best. If we can finally solve this quarterback puzzle, we could make a real run. The AFC North is no joke, but with the right guy leading us, we could shock the world. So to everyone out there who bleeds orange and brown, stay locked in. This might be one of the most exciting seasons we've had in years. Every rep matters. Every decision matters. And this quarterback battle, it's just the beginning of something way bigger. Cleveland doesn't quit. We fight, we believe, and we're always chasing that next big moment. Let's see who takes the reins, who rises to the occasion, and who finally leads this team to the promised land. Now it's your turn. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Who's your pick to start under center week 1? And don't forget to hit that like button if you believe in this team. If you're riding with the Browns all the way to the Super Bowl, type it out. Go Browns. I believe in the Super Bowl this year. Let's finish strong. Let's talk about what's really been buzzing. Shedeur Sanders. This kid came into town with a ton of hype and expectations. He's talented, no question. The media loves him. Fans chant his name. But right now, he's sitting behind a long list of veterans. According to Zach Jackson from The Athletic, Sanders has shown flashes in practice. He's accurate, he's got the timing, but the staff just isn't ready to trust him yet. Stefanski isn't saying much about his future role, and from what I'm hearing, the Browns are leaning on the experience of guys like Flacco and Pickett. Jackson even said there's less than a 4% chance either rookie starts in September. That's not just slim, that's practically zero. Now imagine being Shedeur. You've got the cameras in your face, the crowd on your side, but you're buried on the depth chart. That's gotta sting. And it's not just the quarterback room where the drama's heating up. Let's look at the wide receiver room. Jerry Jeudy, he's the clear number 1. But after him, things get murky. Cedric Tillman has potential but hasn't delivered consistently. And then there's Deontay Johnson. Bounced around the league last year and now he's skipping voluntary OTAs. That's not a good look, especially in a locker room that's still healing from a rough 2024. Johnson's got talent, no doubt, but fans are already frustrated. And just when you think the story's cooled off, boom, Jamari Thrash enters the scene. A 5th-round pick from Louisville who barely touched the field last year is now running with the first team at slot receiver. That's wild. Either the vets are slipping or Thrash is showing something special. And based on his college tape, the dude's got speed, quickness, and that explosive YAC ability we've been missing. So, Myles Garrett, the face of our defense and honestly one of the most dominant pass rushers in the entire league, is suddenly at the center of controversy. Yeah, I know. He just signed a massive 4-year, $160 million extension this offseason. That's historic money. But despite that, he didn't show up for voluntary OTAs. Now, sure, technically he doesn't have to be there. It's not mandatory. But come on, when you're the highest paid defensive player in franchise history and the guy everyone looks to as the leader, skipping OTAs, that sends a message. Fans felt it. You could hear it in the chatter. Analysts started raising eyebrows. And then it got worse. One of Garrett's own teammates, another defensive end, actually liked an Instagram post criticizing his leadership. That move? It lit up social media like a bonfire right in the middle of First Energy Stadium. It wasn't just shade. It was a signal flare that not everything is peachy inside that locker room. And that's the part that stings because Garrett isn't coming off a quiet year. The man had 14 sacks, 47 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. He's still an absolute beast on the field. But now with that fat contract and a no-trade clause, leadership isn't a bonus anymore. It's the expectation. And people are starting to wonder if he's stepping into that role the way he should. But just as we're trying to wrap our heads around that, the plot thickens. Because on the other side of the ball, a new storyline is starting to unfold. And this one has quarterback drama written all over it. When Dillon Gabriel stepped onto the field for Browns OTAs, it wasn't his arm strength or command of the huddle that caught my eye. It was how small he looked, like actually small. I'm talking barely 5'11" small, especially when he's standing behind those towering offensive linemen. It was obvious, not just to us watching from the sidelines, but to everyone. And then it happened. Mason Graham, huge guy, just casually, swatted down one of Gabriel's passes like it was nothing. I mean, it was almost theatrical. You couldn't script it better if you tried. That one play basically said, hey, you might have the talent, but you're gonna have to work extra hard to overcome your size. And the reaction? Oh, man. Coaches noticed. Players noticed. Reporters noticed. One reporter was even caught on a hot mic saying, I'm taller than him. That's brutal, especially for a rookie trying to prove himself and earn respect right out of the gate. But here's the thing. Gabriel knows. The Browns knew it when they drafted him. His size was never a secret. So why did they still bring him in? Simple. Accuracy. This dude can flat out sling it. And that's not just hype. Multiple OTA reports have been raving about his ball placement. Whether it's a tight window throw over the middle or a perfect back shoulder fade, Gabriel delivers. His touch, his timing. It's high-level stuff. And in today's NFL, where defenses are tighter and completion percentages keep climbing, that kind of precision, it's gold. We're not in the era anymore where a guy can scrape by with 57% completions and hang on to a job. You gotta live in the high 60s just to be considered average. So that's why the coaches are watching Gabriel so closely. If Kevin Stefanski can tweak the system to fit his strengths, like Sean Payton did with Drew Brees, we might actually see this offense click in a way no one expects. I mean, remember how Payton simplified things for Bo Nix last season? I could see a similar approach with Gabriel. Scripted plays, fast reads, get him comfortable early. Let him build confidence before opening up the playbook. And if that happens, I'm telling you, Gabriel could quietly evolve into the kind of quarterback who doesn't wow you with highlight reels, but who leads the team with smart, efficient, mistake-free football. He could be that steady hand we've been missing. But don't get me wrong, he doesn't have the job locked up, because Shedeur Sanders, he's coming, and he's making noise, big noise. I've heard it from multiple sources. Shedeur looked really good during OTAs. I'm talking poise, command, decision-making. He's got the frame, he's got the flash, and honestly, some scouts think his ceiling might be higher than Gabriel's. Some reports even say he was the second-best quarterback in camp, right behind Joe Flacco. Yeah, that Joe Flacco, which leads me to the next twist. Check this out. ESPN recently did a ranking of the Browns' QB room. Joe Flacco was number 1. No surprise there. Shedeur Sanders came in at 2. Dillon Gabriel, 3rd. And Kenny Pickett, the former Steelers starter, dead last. Wow. The talk is that Pickett might not even be in the running by the time preseason rolls around. That's wild. So where does that leave us? Honestly, right back with Joe Flacco, a seasoned vet, a steady presence, and a guy who knows Stefanski's system already. He's 39, yeah, but he's still got some fire left. And I respect that he's not out here pretending to be a mentor. He said it straight up. He's here to compete. And based on what I'm seeing and hearing, I think Flacco's the guy for week 1. He's earned it. But that doesn't mean the door's closed for Gabriel or Shedeur. This is shaping up to be one of the most fascinating QB battles in the league, and it's only just getting started. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next video.